Hey friends, this is Robin from Garden Extras. These are my two inside silkies. We hatched a baby a week ago. So 4 weeks ago, she went broody with her last egg. This is a duck egg. That's all I'm getting. One egg here and there from a duck. And I have 4 duck layers, and she's my only silky layer. Right now, I do believe my blue silky's a female, so we'll have 2 layers. And this little baby, what are you going to be? What are you going to be, little baby? Look at those gold overtones in her fur. So all white silkies have either silver or gold in their genetics. And only male silkies carry the silver and gold gene. I'm learning genetics because I'm going to be breeding on purpose. This little guy was just a whoops. Mommy decided to go broody. See, I see the gold in her. I don't know if I see any silver. I really want a girl. Girls don't carry both genes. They're either silver or they're gold. And she looks more gold. But I do see, it looks like a hint of silver. Today's Teach the Baby How to Scratch Day. See if that's silver? Way to go, she's just ignoring me and going on about her business. So there we are. Hung up a baby cake. Spoil inside chickens. The sun finally came out. These poor little birdies have been locked up over there for many days, going on many weeks. They were sad when the mama had to come in with the baby bird. It was out there in the house for the first day of hatching. It was making its little tweety noises. They knew. But we'll bring them back out. I don't know, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. We'll see. This time they'll have Mama to protect her. When we added our last 3 hatchings, we hatched them. So we just carefully and with protection introduced them to the flock. And it went mostly well. I think this little boy here is one of the ones we hatched recently. He's a show boy. He's got nice feet. Nice fluff. Can be a good breeder. There's the blue I was talking about that we have, that I do believe is a female. So I think what I want to do is take the blue, this little show male, and the other female that's already bred, already raising young, and put them together. And then put all these crazy roosters by themselves and put the ducks with the breeding chickens, because I don't think this rooster will bother the ducks. And I have had to discipline a rooster for going after a duck. Wasn't fun. I locked him upstairs in the top bunk. so they couldn't get anybody for a day, and I haven't seen any stuff happening since then. When we hatched 6 roosters and 1 hen, and they started growing up and fighting, I did not know what we were going to do. I couldn't find any good news online anywhere about having a bunch of roosters together. We have this extra house nobody's using, so we can use that when we start separating birds. I think it'll be the rooster house. But anyway, what we did is just a lot of separation. We had to separate the guys who were causing the most problem, or if a bird was injured, we had to, isolate it. So we learned early on how to divide up the space and find housing for birds that had to be separated. So when we go into breeding, we have some experience in separating spaces and finding housing. We were unable to find another affordable coop this year to add to the space because of the price of wood. We had a heck of a time finding a shed this year, which doesn't have anything to do with our chickens. It has to do with collective treasures, picking adventures. Hey, duck. So I only paid $250 for that one, and we are redesigning it because we use it differently. So this is this space. I have to go out in greenhouse 2 and get some greens and lettuce. Baby kale, meaning mine just hasn't matured. I planted it late. Lettuce and Swiss chard. Some of this stuff doesn't look great. Some of it looks okay. This little guy back here is looking a little rough. Yeah, mushy. Feels mushy. Yeah, we've had some really, really cold nights. And I lost heat in greenhouse 1. This one's not heated. This one's just covered. But the ground doesn't feel frozen. At least not on top. So these are all cold-loving crops in here, so they will bounce back. It's just been really cold. Sun's out today. That'll warm up. All my outdoor spaces will warm up. But then it's going to nosedive again. I am definitely staying inside of buildings on sunny days and not much else. Decent bag of greens. That was the best I could do this year. I know I have a lot better time planting my cold crops in the spring than I do in late summer. My spinach is about to get its second leaf. This was my first planting cold crops, winter sowing method in a milk jug. So I am thinking about planting these in here and leaving them in greenhouse 1 because it's getting more sun. I have a light in here. It's not too hot, but it's warm enough, and then when it gets too hot in here I can move them out. But I just think I'll get a faster production from the spinach if I leave them in here. I have ran out of milk jugs. I have broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, onions, lettuce, the lettuce that I was just picking out there. I only pick half of the greenhouse at a time so that the other half has time to grow. Things grow so slow. So I think I've just about planted everything I need to. There's one more purple lettuce that I like, salvia. Trying to think. I don't think there's anything else. But there's some flowers. There's a flower that I want to plant. So if I empty this milk jug out and plant it in here, the spinach, then I can use this milk jug to plant the flower. So when the coldest night of the year is when the heat went out. So it was in the single digits, maybe down to 4. I doubt it got that cold in here, but the watering can was froze. So it was below freezing. This tree's probably cooked, but I'm just going to leave it there. This flower is definitely showing damage. It was damaged once before, being in front of the greenhouse, which is south facing, too hot, too intense. And it bounced back and was looking great in my last video. These I had just brought outside, Silver Falls. They were doing great in the house, but the ones in here were doing great too. So I thought they'd do well out here or better. And then the heat went out. I had some really cool things going on in here. Some of these, some of my succulents are an experiment. And I don't know if they're going to winter well out here. And I've had some surprises. Then it got cold. The thing I'm most excited about in Greenhouse 1 is the growth on this stick. This is the biggest propagating area that I've had since I started propagating. And I started it early in the winter, so I would have all winter for this stuff to take before I need it for tomatoes and peppers and things like that. That looks like growth, that purple. Waiting for it to pop out so you can see it better, but I'm in here, so that's the exciting news for this one. That's what I'm excited about. I'm probably going to repot that stick into another container by itself soonish. It looked good and open this morning. Nice big hole. The ice is really thick. It looks like it's freezing on top still. So I'm going to switch the bucket out to another hot bucket. When I took the bucket out, I could see stuff floating up from the bottom of the pond. So the goldfish are down there. There's 4 pretty good sized goldfish. They are fish dormant, meaning they're alive, their metabolism slows down, and they just don't move much when it's this cold. But the water does need to be opened up for gas exchange. Pain in the butt.